of a little bit rebellious, maybe quick to react at times if people are like bossy or telling you what to do, that this doesn't work well with you at all.
Yeah.
Not so good. A lot depends on how they say it to you. And you have a very fast mind. You're actually quite brilliant. You're like extremely smart. Even though you might doubt it at times, you're very, very smart. Very smart. And you have good ideas. You have lots and lots and lots of ideas, maybe too many. Too many ideas of, I could do this, I could do that. And it's like you have a lot of talents to choose from. You have a lot of abilities, but kind of settling down on what am I going to focus in on. And I don't know if this is right or not, but I had this feeling that you really love animals and they respond well to you. And I don't know if you would be interested in considering some kind of training to work with animals. Is that something that appeals to you?
I've never really thought about doing that before, but I do love animals, so yeah.
Okay, because it looks like starting next year on your birthday, April 2021 till your birthday, April 2022, is very much about focusing on career and figuring out how you're going to do what you want to do and, feel freedom to be true to yourself and take care of yourself and know that you can make it. So there's much more of a concentration next year. And it looks like you've been through some difficult times with relationships, but it seems like you're going to be with the true love of your life if you're not already. It's kind of like promised in your chart that you would be with your true love, not just someone who's a soulmate from another lifetime, but somebody who is actually like your true love, like really, really wonderful. So I wonder if that's already happened yet. Have you met that person, do you think?
No, I'm single, honestly, so that'd be really, really amazing. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got all this typed up information I'm going to send you with the CD and the copy of the chart, and what's going on with Neptune in the heavens in relationship to your natal chart between April 1st, 2019 and February 18th, 2022 is, it looks like you would meet the person during that time period, like a really amazing true love person that is nurturing and caring and kind of a fatherly kind of person, but very strong, powerful individual, very masculine. So that looks like that would happen. And then there was another thing, let's see, March 1st, 2019 till February 22 in the year 2021 shows that you're like extremely emotional during this time period, like very sensitive. You're a deep feeling person to begin with. Your emotions are extremely intense because your moon's in Scorpio and it's right next to Pluto. So you have very, very, very deep feelings, and you need to be in relationship with someone who loves that about you and understands that.
Yeah.
Because you need to be yourself. You can't pretend you're not feeling when you're feeling, because your feelings are really super deep, super strong. And what about past lives? Do you remember past lives? Does that come to you, or do you see other people's auras? I mean, you're like very psychic.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I see other people's auras. I may sense it, or I might feel it. I might feel their energy. I just don't know if I see it or not. And there is times that I have dreamed stuff, and there is times where I have predicted stuff and it has came true. For example, I dreamed that my dad was gonna die, and 8 days before he died, I wrote a little thingy saying, like, I'm gonna miss you and stuff like that, and I don't want you to go. Like, I even told my dad, I was like, I don't want you to die, and he's like, you never know when our time is. And then next thing you know, the way I predicted his death, it happened.
Yeah.
So
I think more and more throughout your life you'll have that kind of prophetic knowingness and dreams. Yeah, I think that's part of your path. And that can be burdensome, as long as you don't get into guilt, but it's beautiful that you shared that with him.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Sounds like you had a good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any specific questions?
Right now, I'm just trying to find a job. If I'm gonna get myself a job to be able to take care of myself, because I feel like I'm spiraling into a rock bottom. So I'm just wondering if I'm gonna be able to find a job within the next couple of months or a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think so, because the planet Uranus in the heavens is right on your, what's called your progressed sun. The sun moves 1 degree every year, and so the sun moved from 12 Aries, where it was when you were born, to where it is now is 11 Taurus, and that's pretty much where Uranus is in the heavens. So Uranus brings about sudden changes. So if you're ready to make changes, you're open to the universe. The universe brings things very suddenly with Uranus. So it's just like you're putting out to the universe, I'm ready for a job, I want a job. The universe will work with you and help you. You know, just have to put out the effort, and it will happen, because you're in a phase right now. Let's see, it started in July till almost the end of September. Then it starts up again in May 2021, and then also end of October till the end of November, and then again in April 2022. So there's a whole lot of emphasis moving you into a new phase of your life. This is like a turning point in your life. I can say that with confidence, because I remember when that happened in my chart. It was a huge turning point of feeling greater freedom and self-reliance, doing things I had never done before, you know, learning to take risks and trust intuition. It was a huge turning point. So that's what's going on in your chart. And as far as relationships, it's like totally incredible. Like super, super good. So after November 19th, looks like you're working through some old stuff in relationship that was somewhat of a disappointment. And after that's complete, then everything is kind of wide open to meeting your mate and having a really wonderful relationship with someone who feels like it's your equal and who's, you know, like strong and centered in his inner strength and sees life as an adventure. And like you know, you're more adventurous. Being in Aries, it's like life is discovering more and more about taking chances and having adventure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Am I allowed to ask?
And talents. I mean, you got a lot of talent. Do you like to do art or music or sing?
I like all of those things. I just can't figure out which one fits me.
Yeah, right. Well, singing would be really good, because it's healthy and healing to sing. So I would encourage you to develop that and put attention there. You could be really good.
Okay. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, do you have like natural, like perfect pitch?
No. I have a monotone voice from what I was told.
Well, maybe you take a little bit of lessons and they give you certain exercises to do with your voice, and it would be easy. I think you have like big talent as far as singing. And whether it's something you do that's just healing and fun for you, or something that you take further, who knows? But the door is like open for you to put effort and energy into developing it. And even if it's just for fun, you know, that's great. That's great. And color, I think you'd love color.
Yeah.
So color as far as like in your bedroom or what you wear, just like color lifts your spirit. You have to be really, really careful with the moon and Pluto and Scorpio. You have to be really careful that you don't get pulled down by other people's emotions, because there's like a part of you that's so sympathetic and compassionate that where other people are depressed or suffering, it becomes your emotion. So that's added to what you're already feeling. So
Yeah.
that can be like total overwhelm. So you have to be really, really careful not to take on other people's emotions.
Okay.
And so how do you do that? What I do is I picture white light all around the aura, all surrounding my body, white light for protection, so that energy that other people are experiencing kind of bounces off that white light and goes back to them with healing, loving energy, so I don't get pulled down.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing
that's
about the
really
color thing,
important.
I was just going through my closet because I switched rooms, and I was hanging up all of my clothes, and I realized that most of my clothes were black, and I was like, I need color in my clothing. So that's kind of already resonating right now, so.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So that would be like a huge change, just to bring in color.
Yeah.
Even to mix it with the black, yeah, you'll figure that out. But that's important, because the color really does lift the spirit, and it emits a certain vibe. So that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, but the Uranus going over the progression is a really big deal, because it means you're in a turning point in your life. And also just kind of accepting and working with your psychic sensitivity, allowing that to be what it is, and maybe doing some writing with it.
Mhm.
Like writing in a diary or a journal. Is that something that you would do?
Yes.
Okay, good, because it looks like you would get a lot of insight. Okay. What kind of jobs are you drawn to, or at this time it's just like any job at this point?
I got a career in bartending, so yeah, that's where I'm at. So I got a job in bartending career.
A job in what?
I went to school for bartending.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that your Saturn return. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Saturn return. Everybody has their first Saturn return when you're like 28, 29 years old. The Saturn return means that Saturn returns to where it was when you were born, and when you were born with Saturn at 5 degrees of Aquarius, and so that's going to it pretty much started already. You had some previews about Saturn. Where did I write that? It's actually happening between December and... But you've had some previews. Let's see, I have to write that down and then email. Well, not email, I'll just send it in the mail. You had some previews, I think, January, maybe January, February. Saturn was starting. So the Saturn return basically is about, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? What's important to me? What's my purpose in life? What is it that would, make my life more interesting? And, so Saturn, your Saturn's in the 12th house. So one thing I think of with Saturn in the 12th house is like helping people who live away from society. Could be people with mental illness who need givers to help them with structure in their daily life. I had a job like that, and I found it to be fascinating. And it could be a nursing home, it could be, I don't know, elder care. I don't know, people who are like set apart from society. So it's kind of like behind the scenes kind of help and support. So that's an option, something you could do. Or sometimes even in nursing homes and hospitals, they need people, to work in the kitchen and to help out that way. Also, it's kind of behind the scenes helping. So that could be a job that's available that might not seem so interesting, but could turn out to be a lot more interesting than you would think at first.
Yeah. I have a question. My dream has always been to kind of start YouTube channels.
To start what?
A YouTube channel about my depression and about my life. Is that something that I should go into, possibly?
Well, if you feel drawn to do that, I would say definitely. Because Uranus going over the progressed sun means that you would step out of the norm and try something different. So I would encourage you to do that. If you're feeling guided to do that and you think that it would help somebody, I would say go for it. And I think that would also be like incredibly therapeutic to do that and healing for yourself. Very empowering.
Yeah.
I think that's very cool.
Yeah, it's something I've been drawn to, and I've been practicing, getting behind the camera and filming. I've just been too scared to upload anything or post anything because I'm a dumbass and I listen to all these, and I'm going to say that. I am a dumbass and I listen to all these different astrologers and say, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, so it's probably not best to post or start anything right now. So
right.
I'm like,
That's true. Right, when Mercury's retrograde, that's the time to plan and organize and research, and then comes the new moon. That's when you start a new project that you want to be successful. Between the new moon and the full moon.
Yeah.
Not after the full moon, no way, because the energy's going down, and then it won't complete and be successful. But when Mercury's retrograde like it is right now, this is the time to really plan, get into details, figure out how to do it, look at other people, how have they done it, and just really plan it out perfectly so that you're already set to go when the new moon happens.
Yeah.
So that's cool. The other thing is that your Mercury at birth is 28 Aries and your Mars is 29 Gemini. That's a 60-degree aspect that shows through effort you become smarter and smarter and smarter. And the thing is, you have a good mind, it's a quick mind, but the only problem is it might be too quick, too fast to jump. That's the only problem with that aspect. I have a similar one in my chart. And for me, if I jump too fast, then I get really disappointed if it doesn't happen the way I visualized or I thought, then I give up and have to start again. So it's like taking the time to plan things out carefully, then it works really well. But you are super smart. There's no question about it in my mind. But you have a doubt about your mind because your Mercury has a difficult aspect to your Saturn at birth, and that has to do with some past life disappointment. So just remember what I said about just taking your time and organizing well, because you have a really good mind and you have excellent ideas. I mean, that's a fact.
Okay. Thank you. You are right. My Mercury always doubts myself, so I always bring myself down somehow, some way. So, and you are your own worst enemy. So.
Yeah, right. It's the thoughts in the mind that they create our reality. If I think, my brother's smarter than me, I'll just never be as smart as him, then that becomes true. And I did grow up thinking that. And what's funny is, my brother said he always thought I was smarter than him. It's like, but how could you? How could you think that? So it's always our thinking,
Yeah.
So, yeah, just change your thinking. and like, just say delete. If you hear yourself say, I'm just a dumbass, I'm, not smart enough to say, delete. I am not going to entertain that thought anymore. Never again. I'm not thinking that way.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
I need to start doing that. Going to start doing that.
Just the thing with your chart is not to go too fast. If you go too fast, you might screw it up. That's the only problem. Just don't go too fast.
So I need to
take your time figuring
slow
things
down.
out, 'cause you got such good ideas.
I do. I have so many ideas, and that's where I get into arguments with people because, like, I tell them my ideas, and then they go and do their own plan, and then they come back to me later afterwards, and they're like, "You were right." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be right. I was just trying to give you my advice."
Right. Well, the other thing about the animals, think about that, because there's something perhaps that you would end up doing that has to do with animals, and that they would love you.
Yeah.
You could even heal them somehow just by loving them, that they would respond really, really well to you.
Yeah.
So there's something about that, because I got a really strong vibe about you and animals. So what about, like, travel or moving? Is that something that's interesting to you?
I honestly want to move out of my town. I want to move out of my town a lot. You're done?
No, I got it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a sense of where you would want to go?
Honestly, no. I don't.
Okay, well, maybe before you go to sleep, ask to have a dream to bring you clarity or information. What's the best place for you to live? And maybe just to have that thought will help bring it about at the right time.
Because, like, I've traveled and I visited states before. And the only state that I found myself drawn to, even though I haven't been to other states before, is Arizona. And I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
So,
Is there a particular place? Because that's something I could look at and send to you.
Prescott, Arizona? Or...
Okay.
I don't know what it is about Prescott. And I think it's because I looked at the chart. And then I don't know. I want to be somewhere where I'm happy, and I find that
I'll
actual
look at your chart
love.
to see what it would look like for living there, to see if that would be a really good place. It might be. Okay. Anything else?
I do like a little bit Northern California, but I no idea.
I didn't understand what you said.
I said I also like Northern California, but I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah. A friend of mine is just about to move to Eureka. He's buying, what do they call it? It's
A townhouse or
a trailer park that's nice, super nice. 80,000.
Nice.
So I thought that was a pretty good deal. He was very excited. So there's deals out there, and our higher self works with helping us to find the right place once a decision is made. So, I mean, if there's a decision made that you say, I want to live, in Prescott, then the forces of the universe somehow bring about, then you meet somebody who lived there most of their life, or, you get something in the mail from Prescott. It's like, what? That is weird. Things just start happening.
Yeah.
So don't ever, put any limit on the possibilities of what can happen. Just always be open to anything can happen. Not I can't afford it, or how could that be? Don't even worry about it. Just wait and see what comes, because life is full of surprises, that's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that is about it, and I'm going to send the CD to you with a package with charts, a couple of charts, and then typed up the dates for you to be aware of and what it means.
Okay.
Okay, honey. Well, take care, and if you have any questions or concerns, just call me or email me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.